This is the Carburetor channel, and once again I'm being distracted from what I'm trying to do with my channel. This time it's because of an Indiana woman who was arrested for animal abuse. But the reason for this abuse is a whole new situation that needs our attention. And I was torn over whether I should make this video yesterday because it's taken me away from what I want to do. And also, it looks like this is going to be more of the kind of things that hurt my channel, because my channel ends up without the viewership that I'd get if I was in some kind of drama with Bart K. So I'm going to try to keep this short and simple because I have something important and different to say here, even though this story is very similar to what I've covered before. And this story just came out, but it's not reaching a high level of visibility, and it may not. So I want to get the ball rolling here, and hopefully bigger YouTubers will hear about it. But that requires you, the viewer, to spread the word. Seems like the vegan community just has lost their way. I noticed the recent video of Joey Carbstrong, who does this kind of stuff, but today he was doing some clickbait with the title, "What did PewDiePie just say about vegans?" And all I can think of was the drama that happened about 3 years ago where he had a spat with Sorsha. But that's been 3 years, and this probably hasn't done anything lately, so now it's new news again. But who cares? There's a couple of things about this story that need attention. Well, the first one here is this story goes beyond what we have heard before.
Graphically killing cats and dogs by hanging, skinning, and other means. During their search, the FBI found numerous animal parts and skulls.
Evil, dark, sordid.
One of many animal advocates across the country who saw the images and contacted authorities as far away as Boise, Idaho, and Salt Lake City.
You just started putting all the pieces together that there was something really, really dark going on.
Another one is notice how this local news outlet categorized this article under public safety. We're going to see more of that in the article here. Indiana, arrested and charged with animal cruelty charges. Department of Justice. So that's interesting. Crystal Scott, 19, was charged with 2 accounts of making and distributing animal crush videos. I'm not sure if I can say that yet, but we're going to look into that and see if I have to edit. So here, there's so much to say. Yes, this sounds a lot like things we've heard before. The clothes dryer case, that still burns me up when I think about it, and that's another thing I want to get into, because we shouldn't just be letting that go. Like we had to, because, well, I want to save it for later. Now, these types of videos of typically small animals being abused and killed. Quote from FBI Agent Paul Keenan, "Animal abusers have total power over that animal." Yeah, just like in factory farms. And if someone is willing to be that cruel to an animal, when I was reading this yesterday, at this point I thought, yes, they're psycho. And there should be a test, there should be many tests in order to run for president. Things would be a lot better to weed out these people. But then the sentence goes on and says, if they're willing to be that cruel, evidence suggests that they may target vulnerable humans as well. Notice I emphasized the word human there. And I was wondering, is that the real problem here that people have? Oh my God, they could do something to humans. This is the thing with humans. Only if you have a voice do you seem to matter. Oh, that's, I was going to say count. But yes, matter is a fitting word here. Which lives matter? It's the ones that speak out enough who can speak. See, right now we've got this big movement, civil rights, Black Lives Matter, and you need a lot of people speaking out in a language you can understand. And see, animals can't do that. And throughout all those protests, I was thinking, we need these kind of protests for animals, but we never get it. It's because animals just cannot unite and speak out. As a matter of fact, they are not even aware that there's this epidemic, because the news here is not in a language they can understand. And so we continue to have this crazy problem. It's now gotten to a crazy degree. If I understand this correctly, people aren't just abusing animals, they're doing it to film it and put it on the internet. And these kind of videos even have a name. It's a category, people, and it appears to be trending.
Pictures show federal agents and other law enforcement officers carrying boxes out of the house with a Kokomo Humane Society truck parked nearby. This after 19-year-old Crystal Cherica Scott was arrested and charged with 2 counts of making and distributing animal crush videos. The man cutting back weeds at this Kokomo home had nothing to say about the FBI raid here Tuesday.
I'm not going to tell you.
They're doing it to film it and put it on the internet, but there's more. Complaints came in about the social media posts on June 16, and an investigation was opened immediately. The officers that reviewed this, they knew how to categorize them. So they know about this. And 2 days later, the police department reached out to the FBI. They identified who it was, Scott. According to the release, the FBI learned that Scott was able to obtain animals by responding to advertisements, giving away unwanted pets. When the FBI joined the investigation, they learned that the Kokomo Indianapolis Department had recently contacted Scott after receiving similar complaints against her in May. During the investigation, Scott continued to post videos and pictures of animal cruelty on social media websites, including Instagram and TikTok, until as late as July 8. Post your anger and share this on social media and try to get other YouTubers involved. I'm thinking Vegan Gains, maybe Joey Carbstrong. Let me specify exactly what is wrong here. This reminds me of the clothes dryer case from Dallas, Texas, where we followed this day after day, trying to get some action. They finally tracked the person down, and then day after day we are waiting to hear of justice being served, and we never got it. The police just didn't do anything. They went to her house. I guess they told her to knock it off, but they didn't do anything about these horrific crimes. This is as bad as the injustices to black people by police and Texas rednecks who chase black people down on the street, gun them down, hang them from trees. Oh, and by the way, I was reading somewhere that is some of the things that are done in these animal abuse videos. We've seen hundreds of thousands of people take to the streets in anger to stop this exact kind of thing from happening to humans, and I suggest, I'm not taking anything away from them, I suggest they incorporate this. I think there's room enough. You know, there's 300 million people in this country. We need millions on the streets. Those people are there. Why have vegans never gotten to the level of the Black Lives Movement? It is needed. You can see that right here. Now we just need to start a movement and get it growing. And officers found numerous animal parts and skulls, 3 live dogs, 12 live cats, several lizards. Oh, now that's different. And look over here. Even these bad, hateful men, such hated group that their community got quarantined a couple months back because it's dedicated to shocking or highly offensive content. And this isn't the kind of content they're talking about. It's shocking because they're saying stuff about women. And we can't have that. Even they feel sorry for the cats and dogs. So now yesterday, this wasn't here. Something happened. I wouldn't think they deleted it. I think the link has been deleted. Let's see the comments. I haven't read this yet. Now look at this. Look at this. They need to change the judicial system. Right. That's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Black Lives Matter people are correct. I made a video about this. There's obviously something wrong with the system. And it looks like it can't be fixed. So the only way to fix it is to take funding out of the system and create a new system. That's what they're talking about with defunding the police. It's just a really bad phrase. By the way, if you've been wondering if those protests are still going on, yes, they are. I mentioned back then that, well, I said protests never last forever. Well, some do. But media coverage is what fades. Not only is the interest going to go away, but there's other stories that come up. But the protests are still going on, and they should be. Well, that last case, possibly nothing happened because she was female. Yes, what is wrong with people? What's going on? And why does it seem to be mostly female? And females having mental problems just seems more common with females. Now see, here is why this community is quarantined. Psychopath, that's the word I almost used there. Psychopathic behaviors just taking off. It's also procreated more. You can see there's a lot of Trumps out there. They procreate more. And you can now see, more than ever, that book tells you what I've been telling you. I never thought about Trump's father being a psychopath, but I could have guessed. And in some way, it looks like that's been passed down to Trump, and then he passed it to his sons. Oh yeah, see, look, this kind of behavior doesn't usually manifest. Well, that's weird for someone here to say that. Maybe this is only getting worse as a female trend because it's being ignored, because it's female. And our feminized society doesn't want people to hear this because, well, that's bad for women. As that comedy movie says, because it doesn't make them look good, because we judge people superficially by their gender and their race, don't we? So the only thing that was left for me to do here was to look up that term and see if there's anything more that needs to be covered here. So I went to Reddit and searched for the term, and my video just got complicated. See, this is what happens to me. My videos end up too long. I don't get anywhere on YouTube or in my life. But that's going to have to wait. I'm going to have to make a part 2 of this. And we'll see if I can explain away President Trump signing a bill on animal abuse and seemingly on our side, when I know he's not. And that other story there about someone getting 40 years for this type of crime, well, I have some things to say about that also. Things that need to be said, because other people aren't saying them.